Local entrepreneurs attend a boot camp to grow their small business.
Local entrepreneurs attend a boot camp. Plus, help is on the way for those affected by Hurricane Matthew. Good morning, it's Tuesday, October 11th, 2016. Thanks so much for waking up with us. I'm Megan Judy.
And I'm Sarah Trott.
And I'm Tim Schmidt. Looks like lots of sunshine's back with us today, and temperatures are going to be warm, almost near the 80-degree mark in most areas today. And then rain is likely here for the rest of the week. We're talking maybe about an inch of rain tomorrow, and then another inch of rain possible on Friday. So a little bit of rain here or there, and maybe some change in the colors on those trees here by the later part of this week once you factor in all those clouds and all that outside. Take a look at your current satellite and radar. A little bit of light rain activity kind of up towards our north and towards our east. We were expecting that this morning, but looks like most of that little spotty rain shower activity is falling through a very dry atmosphere, so none of those little raindrops are actually reaching the ground. Temperatures right now 55 in Columbia, 54 in Jefferson City. We're at 57 at the Lake of the Ozarks and 54 out in Boonville at this hour. It'll be a warm day coupled by those winds out of the south and a very sunny sky. Temperatures will get up to about 78 to near 80.
And thank you.
In the wake of Hurricane Matthew, FEMA is helping with rescue efforts in North Carolina.
Crews from as far away as Pennsylvania and right here in Missouri are providing aid in Lumberton, North Carolina, after torrential rains caused serious flooding in the area. Rescue teams are there to help residents who are still trapped in their homes. The storm and its aftermath has caused 11 deaths in just North Carolina alone. While some are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Matthew, those returning to their homes this week are questioning why they even evacuated to begin with after finding their homes virtually untouched. However, government officials are continuing to urge people to evacuate when told in the future and to not let this instance serve as an excuse to remain home during an emergency. Hurricane Matthew took the lives of at least 900 people in Haiti and left thousands homeless. As floodwaters begin to recede, the difficult task ahead is providing survivors with food, water, and shelter. World Food Program trucks have arrived with aid in parts of the country, but chaotic scenes have reportedly disrupted the distribution of supplies.
The election is about a month out, and the candidates are gathering in Columbia to talk to a certain group of voters. KOMU 8's Hannah Hussman is live with more on the forum and what they'll be discussing.
I'm here on the Woodhaven properties where later this morning candidates running for state office will meet to discuss issues that affect the disability community. Now, the Columbia Disabilities Commission and many other disability-related organizations will play host to the moderated forum. Candidates from districts 44, 45, 46, 47, 50, and 19 were all invited. Waterman from District 46 and Jones from District 50 will not attend. Rowden from District 19 was uncertain as of yesterday, but all other candidates will participate. I spoke with the forum moderator who told me some of the issues that affect this community that the candidates will be asked to address.
I know a lot of people are very concerned about Medicaid expansion. They're worried about disability rights issues that the state legislature will be taking a look at, and a number of other programs that the state funds that assist people with disabilities to be independent in our communities.
The hosting organizations have submitted questions they hope that the candidates will familiarize themselves with and address. The forum starts at 11 this morning. Reporting live from Columbia, Hannah Hussman, KOMU 8 News.
Columbia middle schoolers could be attending a different school as early as next school year. Gentry Middle School is bursting at the seams, and the school board began talks last night on how to shuffle some of those students elsewhere. The school board says projected enrollment at Gentry will increase at a higher rate than at Jefferson Middle School, where enrollment numbers are currently below full capacity. Here's what CPS says it wants to do to keep kids together.
We want to try to maintain the feeder pattern that we have for middle schools going into certain high schools. Gentry and Jeff Middle School feed into Rockbridge High School, and so we want to maintain that because it also maintains cohorts of children moving through the system together.
Baumstark says long-term goals include building a new school to cope with growth. However, she says that won't happen for another 6 years at least. In the past 5 years, the number of students that qualify for free and reduced price meals has grown in Columbia. Now, some schools are providing free meals for all students. If a school has at least 40% of its students on free and reduced lunch, it qualifies to get funding for free meals. This year, 6 elementary schools and 1 high school in Columbia started offering free meals, and for some, these meals are vital.
for those children who received lunch at school and breakfast at school, that's a lifeline to them. That provides that source of nutrition during the school week.
To help fill the gap when kids aren't in school, the food bank sends kids home with buddy packs with food on the weekends. The wife of a police officer in Texas says she was refused service at a Kroger grocery store because she was wearing a Police Lives Matter t-shirt. Kroger released a statement apologizing for the incident and ensuring they're taking steps to prevent similar situations from happening. The grocery company also apologized for a similar incident in Louisiana, where a police officer said he was discriminated against in one of its stores. After 5 years of litigation, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments in a patent dispute between Apple and Samsung. The arguments will focus on how much Samsung should pay Apple for copying the look of the iPhone. However, Samsung will argue it shouldn't have to pay the entire payout because the article of manufacture was not its entire phone as sold. The justice's ruling is due by the end of June.
A days-long manhunt is over in Tennessee after a hospital worker spotted a kidnapped girl. Investigators were tipped by security at Baptist Memorial Hospital that a worker recognized Lewis and the man accused of taking her from her Florida home over the weekend. Investigators say there's no sign the girl was hurt and they don't know why. The two were at the hospital.
Law enforcement in Johnson County is searching for 2 suspects who sexually assaulted and abducted a sheriff's deputy. What authorities have to say about the attack and how the victim responded.
Think you know the next tech startup but don't know how to pitch your idea? I've got more on a local entrepreneur boot camp coming up after the break.
This is KOMU 8 News Today, coverage you can count on.
It's a live look over Lake of the Ozarks. Your time is 4:37.
Live Doppler 8 First Alert weather.
All right, welcome back. It's 4:39 on our Tuesday morning. It's the live look over the Jefferson City area, and it's brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers. Temperatures outdoors right now are in the lower middle 50s, 55 in Columbia. We're at 54 in Jefferson City. Winds out of the south going to help us get back into the 70s here this afternoon. We're talking temperatures quickly back in the upper 70s to almost near 80 degrees here this afternoon. Those winds here into the 9-10 o'clock hour, quickly jumping in from the south, anywhere from about 5 to maybe 12 to 15 miles per hour this afternoon. It'll be a breeze that will help get some of that atmosphere churned up for some of that warmth, but it'll also bring in a little bit of moisture later on this evening for some rain showers here later on today. Take a look at our satellite and radar. We do have a few of those up over northern and eastern Missouri. Atmosphere is very dry at this time. Relative humidity is anywhere from about 50 to 75%. That means that those raindrops have to fall through a very dry atmosphere and more than likely are evaporating on their way down to the ground. Zoomed out view of that. There's that low pressure system that's up over the north responsible for some of the rainy mess. Behind it though, clear skies. That's what we're going to tap into later on today, and plenty of sunshine expected. We'll look at our precipcast this morning. Some of those clouds still lingering around. Temperatures maybe as cool as 52. Otherwise into the afternoon, temperatures anywhere from 77 on the way up to about 80 degrees, especially down near the Ozarks under that sunny sky. The evening, well, that's going to be quite a nice evening here for us with temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70. However, overnight tonight, it looks like some of those clouds start to really move in, and tomorrow morning there's a slight chance for rain. I think better opportunities for rain are going to be in the afternoon, passing showers and thunderstorms. We could be looking at a little bit of rainfall back with us too. Look at our 24-hour raincast and into the later part of Wednesday night and into early Thursday. Looks like parts of eastern and southeastern Missouri, mainly along Interstate 44, going to possibly see as much as a half an inch to what could be an inch of rainfall from some of the heavier amounts of downpours out over eastern Missouri tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So could be looking at a little bit of rainfall here over the next couple of days. Temperatures this morning, though, 56 with that sunny sky. We'll get back up to about 80 this afternoon. Then clouds will increase overnight tonight. Looks like we'll have that chance for rain early Friday or early Wednesday morning. Then it'll continue through the afternoon and the evening. A little bit of dry time on Thursday with temperatures near 60. A little bit cooler here for the later part of this week. Then we have opportunities for showers and thunderstorms here at least for Friday, and then Saturday into Sunday. It looks like we'll have some breaks of and with dry time at least for some parts of the weekend. Noticeably warmer temperatures though. You'll go from 63 on Friday all the way up to about 76 on Saturday, 78 on Sunday, and then back into the 80s possibly by early next week. The atmosphere is doing some crazy things. It's bringing in multiple little weather systems here or there, and it's also bringing in little passes of cool air and then passes of warm air just kind of sloshing around at this time. The temperatures are
back and forth and back and forth.
It is a little bit, and until that kind of settles down, looks like we're going to have opportunities for rain probably every 2 days, so every other day I guess you could factor that in. That's kind of a sign though of a typical October pattern.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense right now.
That does.
Thanks, Tim.
Here we go. You don't need to travel to Silicon Valley to launch a startup. KOMU8's Emma Reckenberg joins us downtown with more on a local boot camp intended to inspire Columbia entrepreneurs.
I'm outside the Small Business and Technology Development Center, where later this morning, about 40 local entrepreneurs will gather to learn more about how to grow their business. Now, this event is in part with Mid-Missouri's Bringing Up Business Innovation Week. Development Center Specialist Sandra Malin says the goal of the boot camp is to give emerging entrepreneurs access to experts in their fields. She says she has noticed a distinct personality and drive among entrepreneurs in the Columbia area.
I think they are so excited about their business idea, and because of that they are able to commit their time, to commit their efforts, to go for more opportunities.
The boot camp will feature 6 guest panelists who will speak on their experiences and success in the business world. Reporting live in Columbia, Emma Reckenberg, KOMU8 News.
Last night there was a major traffic crash on I-70 in Callaway County. KOMU8 had a crew out on the scene and saw the medical helicopter fly away. Our crew also saw traffic backed up for about 7 miles near mile marker 155. So far, we don't have any information about the crash, but we will update you as we learn more. Johnson County Sheriff deputies and FBI agents are looking for this crystal blue Mazda 3. Authorities believe 2 men inside the car followed, kidnapped, and sexually assaulted a deputy late Friday night. Investigators say it was likely a planned ambush on a random victim, and there was nothing the 20-year-old victim could have done to stop it.
Students and teachers in Chicago are headed back to the classroom this morning after the Chicago Teachers Union avoided a threatened strike by reaching a tentative agreement minutes before a deadline. Among other things, the new agreement provides for cost of living increases for teachers. The deal still needs to be approved by the union's House of Delegates and its members. Authorities arrested a Russian woman for trying to extort money from former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer. Police arrested 26-year-old Svetlana Zakharova last night in New York City. In February, Zakharova accused Spitzer of assaulting her at the Plaza Hotel. She fled the country the day after making those allegations. No charges were ever filed against Spitzer. A person protesting against Columbus Day is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries this morning after being struck by a truck in downtown Reno last night. The protester was part of a group advocating against the observance of Columbus Day. Police are investigating the incident.
18 people were injured when a ferry crashed in Sydney's Circular Quay today. 5 people were taken to the hospital, one of which reportedly suffered spinal injuries. Early reports say the boat crashed into a wooden backboards of the wharf while they were trying to dock.
Samsung, the FAA, and major phone carriers are all responding to new reports of replacement Galaxy Note 7 smartphones bursting into flames.
What owners need to know about staying safe and getting their money back.
Controversy over the Dakota Access Pipeline continues. Dozens more protesters have been arrested, including one famous actress.
Welcome back. Here's a check of our weather on your 8s at 4:49, almost 4:50 this morning. A little bit of rain on our radars right now being picked up by the St. Louis Doppler radar. And, well, the atmosphere just very dry below most of those rain showers. So all of those raindrops have to fall through a dry atmosphere. They're evaporating on their way to the ground. Looks like we're going to stay dry for much of this morning and for the much of today. Temperatures right now are in the middle 50s. The relative humidity is down near about 50 to 75% in most areas. It's a dry atmosphere. 55 right now in Columbia. We're at 54 in Jefferson City. And we're at 57 at the Lake of the Ozarks. Most of us are going to hold near those numbers, maybe just a touch cooler than that. Your school bus forecast this morning looks fairly comfortable, at least for the morning. 58 will be the temperature at 8 a.m. It's a warm day for us, though, with sunny skies, temperatures near 80 degrees.
The MU School of Law and MU Family Impact Center are teaming up this week to offer pro bono estate planning. The program received an overwhelming amount of interest and is hoping to expand in the spring.
A lot of people don't realize that estate trust isn't just for the elderly, but it's for all people of different backgrounds and different ages. You don't really realize that you need it until the time comes that you're in a crisis and your family needs to make important decisions and are kind of at a loss of what you would want.
10 MU law students volunteered for that program.
Samsung is stopping all sales of the Galaxy Note 7 and asking retailers to stop selling the smartphone as well.
Last month, the company issued a recall for the phone over fears that it was catching fire. There are new reports that the replacement phones could also burst into flames.
NBC's Mary Maloney has more on what Samsung is doing about the recall.
If concerns about the phone catching on fire still aren't enough to make you think twice about a Galaxy Note 7, the major wireless carriers are making your decision for you. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint all say they will no longer offer the replacement version of Samsung's troubled smartphone. But some customers are reporting that even their replacement phones are having problems with the battery overheating, resulting in smoke or flames. Last week, a Southwest Airlines flight in Louisville, Kentucky had to be grounded when smoke from a Samsung phone started filling the cabin. A man in China posted a video of his scorched phone online. He says it burst into flames while charging. Now the major carriers will only be swapping the old phones for different models instead of the new Galaxy Note 7. Samsung says the battery problem is found in only a fraction of the phones in use, but they still recalled the Galaxy Note 7 worldwide just a month after its August debut. Samsung called it a precautionary measure. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says Galaxy Note 7 owners will be eligible for a refund. After the new reports of replacement Galaxy Note 7 phones setting on fire, the FAA has updated its guidance on how to fly with that smartphone. The FAA is urging passengers to completely turn off the phone on airplanes. The administration is now advising passengers to not use, charge, or stow any Samsung Galaxy Note 7 devices in checked baggage. That includes recalled and replacement devices.
Police arrested more than 24 protesters as the controversy over the Dakota Access Pipeline continues.
One of the protesters arrested was Divergent star Shailene Woodley, who documented the arrest on Facebook. NBC's Sarah Berlinger has more on what both law enforcement and protesters had to say about the demonstrations.
Oil! Can't drink oil! Keep it in the soil!
More than 100 protesters chanted and danced at a Dakota Access construction site early Monday morning. Animosity towards the police presence protecting the construction site was elevated today.
It appears at this time to be a pretty volatile situation where the protesters are agitated. You know, as I was driving through the area, I was flipped off by a protester just simply driving through. So it's obviously not a peaceful demonstration.
The people are going to be escalating their actions to stop this pipeline in its tracks. This is treaty territory. Indigenous sovereignty applies here.
Black snake killer! Black snake killer!
27 people were arrested for criminal trespass.
If they're trespassing on private land and areas that they shouldn't be, they need to be held accountable.
One of those arrested was Hollywood actress Shailene Woodley. The protest shut down Highway 6 for about 2 hours.
Authorities say they'll review footage from the protests and possibly make more arrests.
Missouri House and Senate candidates are meeting later today, and they have a little less than a month until Election Day. I'll tell you why and what they're talking about after the break.
You're taking a live look over downtown Columbia. It's 4:55. It's Tuesday, October 11th on KOMU 8 News, coverage you can count on.